So I click on his profile and it says in a relationship. And guess what I do?
I click on that bitch's profile.
So welcome back to my channel. Today is a story time. If you did not read the title, we're gonna be talking about some fuckboys and how a lot of men are full of shit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So stay tuned for the story and let me know down below if you have ever had an experience close to this or ever experienced a guy who was a no good type of brother. Leave a comment down below if you have experienced something similar or dated a guy who was just simply no damn good. Let me know. I want to hear you guys' stories. So yeah, this is when MySpace was still out. So I was still using MySpace because it was just starting to die off, but not 100% yet. So I still have my MySpace page. And I believe, yeah, we had met on MySpace. So we'll just name him, we'll name him Stuart, just because I don't know anybody with that name. And I never dated anybody, and just to avoid drama. Yeah, so we'll name him Stuart. I found this page on MySpace because he had sent me a friend request. I didn't know who he was, but his school info has said that he went to Martha Valle, which is a school that is no longer existent, but it was in the Lower East Side on Delancey. Now, I didn't go there for high school, but I went there for middle school. He went there for high school. So, I found it kind of cool because I was like, well, how do I not know you? And we're in the same school. And he had said that he was older, blah, 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 blah. At this time, I was already in my new high school, and he was still at Martha Valle. I was 14, or no, I was 15. He was about 17, 18. So, whatever. So, we get to talking on MySpace, and it's kind of just like, so what classes did you have? Do you know this teacher? Do you know that teacher? Then he goes, oh, I know your brothers. And I'm like, oh yeah? Who's my brothers? And he mentioned my brothers and how, you know, he had gotten into a fight with my older brother. And I was like, oh, red flag already, but we'll let it slide, whatever. So at this time in my life, by the way, my parents were not allowing me to date. I did it all behind their back anyways because that's what teenagers do. So yeah, so he asked me if I wanted to come over one day after about 2 weeks of just, you know, talking on MySpace. And I was like, sure, like, we can hang out, whatever. Here's where the problem is, though. This guy had wanted me to cut school. I did not start cutting school till me and this guy started dating. I was a good kid. I was an honor roll student, I promise. But I don't know. He persuaded me to, like, come in late one day to school, and it worked. So he wasn't a good influence in no way. But yeah, so Stuart and me were talking and, you know, doing the deed for about, I would say, 4 or 5 months. And it was like already halfway. I was not a freshman because I had already dated. So 10th grade, I just did the math. So this was after me and my boyfriend broke up, that the girl wanted to fight me because she was obsessed with me. So this was 10th grade. So yeah, it was in the 10th grade because I was 15. And he was 17, 18, something like that. So we ended up dating, and you know, everything was cool. Like, you know, we would talk to each other every night, and I pretty much told him, like, hey, like, you know, I'm not supposed to have a boyfriend. I'm not supposed to have a boyfriend. I'm not supposed to be dating. So, like, if you're going to call me at this time. If I don't answer you, please do not blow up my phone, like, because that's going to get me in more trouble. Like, plain and simple. Because at the time, my dad was in charge of my phone bill. I was not trying to get caught, and it is what it is. So, yeah, so we're dating for a few months, whatever. He's like, I'm going to DR this summer. I won't be able to contact you. And I'm just like, you don't have a laptop? You don't have Facebook on your phone? I mean, MySpace on your phone? Why haven't I got your Facebook yet? Because at this time, I had already made my Facebook. So he was like, well, I haven't made it yet. I don't have one yet, blah, blah, blah. And I remember talking to my friend Ashley, and I was just like, that's weird that he doesn't have a Facebook. Like, especially being in high school, everybody has a Facebook. Like, everybody has a Facebook. And I was just like, that's weird. And she was just like, well, maybe he doesn't understand how to make his account, whatever. She was giving him kind of like the benefit of the doubt. But then at the same time, she was also like, it is weird. I do agree. So time goes by, and he ends up leaving to DR that summer. Like, I think a week or two before summer had started, he left, like in June, to DR. And he would still text me, but it wasn't as often. And I started noticing there was a pattern of not, like, before he was a lot more repliant. He was a lot more there and just always answering me, always calling me, always, you know, calling me babe, saying I love you, whatever. This time, it was weird because when he was in DR, I felt like I was sharing his attention. And I was already getting a bad vibe because I was still not letting go of the Facebook situation. I didn't understand why he didn't have a Facebook. It just blew my mind. I was like, you gotta be weird. Like, something, I don't know. Something in my mind told me that he was full of shit somewhere. But the problem was, I didn't know his last name for Facebook, because on his MySpace it had only said his first name, but it was like separated, like first part of his name, so it would say like Stewart, like first and last, right? So I didn't know his last name, so I did some research on MySpace, and then I believe I found his cousin, and I asked his cousin, like, hey, what's you guys' last name again? Because I think so-and-so knows you. I was just making up a bullshit scenario because I wanted to see if he would give me his last name so I could look for his Facebook to see if he did have one, if he was really lying to me. So he goes, oh yeah, it's De La Cruz. De La Cruz, okay. So at this time, I have my laptop, I'm sitting on my bed, I'm chilling, you know, I'm watching TV, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just search for it, whatever. So I search in, Stewart De La Cruz, right? Because that's the name we gave him, Stewart, right? Okay. So, I want to say his real name so bad, but I'm trying not to be petty in 2019, but it's really hard. So, whatever. Stewart De La Cruz, right? So, I'm looking up his name. Ding, ding, ding. His fucking picture pops up. I'm just like, oh, so he does have a Facebook. So, he lied to me. Okay, bet. Say less. So I click on his profile and it says in a relationship. And guess what I do? I click on that bitch's profile. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm gonna keep her name out of it. Me and her were actually in the same high school building. There were 4 high schools in my building, right? There was 4 different high schools in my high school building. It was a campus, so it was Seward Park campus. She was in one of the other schools, which was downstairs. So, because all of our classes took place on the last floor, on the 4th floor, and then the other schools went down like that, 3rd, 2nd, 1st floor, like that. So, yeah, so I was like, wait a second. So he has a girlfriend, and he lied to me? Part of my brain was like, do I tell him? Do I say I know anything? Or do I have some fun?
I chose to have some fun.
I chose to act like I didn't know nothing. And what I did was I messaged her on Facebook the next day after school when I was walking out of school on my phone. And I sent her a long message about how me and her mans have been, you know, together for a few months and so, and how long have they been together, because I wasn't even aware that she existed. And I just wanted to know, like, what was going on, if they were really together. Like, I'm not trying to get in the way of nothing, but I just want you to know at the same time what your man is doing, because he's playing you, right? So she didn't answer me right away. I think it took a few days for her to answer me, but when she did answer me, she wasn't happy. Me and her did talk on the phone, and it was a lot of, oh, so how long have you guys been doing this? Did you guys kiss? Did you guys do this? Did you guys do that? It was more like of an interrogation. I felt like she's asking me, but I straight up told her, I was like, I don't even have to answer you. The questions that you should be asking this to are all to your boyfriend, because I didn't even know about you. He knew about you. He owes you that loyalty. I don't owe you nothing. I didn't know you. I knew him. He played it off like, yeah, we're not together. So that's not my fault. And that's what makes me so mad till this day. Like, when girls be trying to fight another girl because their man was cheating on them with the girl, but the girl didn't even know that she existed. That's not that girl's fault. She didn't know you. She didn't even know that you were in his life because he never claimed you. He never said, oh, I got a girl, or oh, this is so-and-so. He didn't even put you on his shit. Or if he did, he gave her the other shit so that she wouldn't know. I don't understand that. The person that you should be mad at is the person that owes you that faithfulness. I don't owe you that faithfulness. Now, if we were friends, that's different. But I don't know you. So I don't owe you any faithfulness. So I felt like I wasn't in the wrong because I didn't know her. You know, I only knew him and what he told me. And to my knowledge, he told me he didn't even have a Facebook. And if I would have never went searching, I probably would have never even found out about you. Honestly. So, yeah. So then it just got to the point where I was just like, look, I don't want no beef. How do you want to settle this? Because I don't really care about him that much to fight over him. I'm not fighting over a guy. That's not happening. So she was like, I have an idea. And I was like, okay, what's your idea? And she was like, what we're going to do is we're going to call him three-way. I'm going to put you on the other line, and you're going to hear our conversation. Now, when he starts to say that he ain't claiming you or whatever, you're going to get on the phone, and you're going to talk. He's going to have no choice but to admit that he fucked up somewhere, right? So we're like, okay, cool. So she calls him up. I think we had made this plan out for like a Friday night or something. And like, yeah, so she called him up. And she's like, oh, hey, babe, how's DR? How's everything going? And he's like, good, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, I miss you so much. And he's like, oh, I miss you too, baby. And she goes, do you miss Nicole too? And he goes, huh? Who? And she goes, you heard me. Do you miss Nicole? And he goes, I don't know Nicole. And I'm like, really? You don't know me? Guess what this motherfucker does? He hangs up the motherfucking phone. So he's already caught. He knows he's caught. So he's mad. So he hung up the phone. I don't think me and him have spoken since then. Yeah, me and him have not spoken since that phone conversation. But they definitely got into it. And they definitely did break up. But they got back together. And she had 3 of his babies. She's stupid because he was still trying to get back with me after that, but I didn't answer him. So yeah, so we haven't spoke. So yeah, I feel like, honestly, I feel like he might still be cheating on her till this day, but that's her fault for staying with him and thinking that he was gonna change because she got pregnant. Like, that's a whole nother issue on why I don't trust crazy bitches like that. Like, she thought her getting pregnant was gonna keep him. It was gonna keep him from being unfaithful. And the way I see it is, if you were cheating on her before, what difference does it make if she's pregnant? That's just going to make you cheat on her more. He was already a cheater. Why'd you stay with him? I don't know. I wouldn't. But not my relationship. I don't know nothing. But that's just a story about how I found out that I was a side chick and how that no good motherfucker got caught. So, if you want to hear more stories like this, just let me know down below. I have a lot of crazy shit that has happened in my life, and I would be glad to share that with you because my life is pure, utterly bullshit. So, feel free to leave me a comment, leave me some video requests down below. Let me know how you guys' 2019 is going and what you guys' goals are. My goal is to get back on my shit and work. So, that is the goal, but who knows? Life catches up and it's hard sometimes. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. And once again, thank you for joining me on me living my best life. Bye.